Hey there, my name is Chris, and for the Hack Money Hackathon, I put together an app called LoanRing. Now, over the last year, there's been a huge influx of funds into the cryptocurrency space, but the problem is a lot of those funds are just sitting around and not being utilized, and they could be utilized by businesses that could leverage those funds to be able to do operations. Now, there are companies like this that already exist, like LendingTree, but the problem with these is that there's not a ton of transparency into who's actually getting the funds and when. The fees involved, and you're limited by the number of government-based currencies that it supports. So the LoanRing application starts off on a discovery page, and you can see I'm already logged in under Coven on the test network. And I can see a list of companies that have already been pre-approved for me to be able to lend to and earn interest. So I'm just going to select a few. After I've selected those companies, I can get taken to a loan preview page, and it'll say, hey, look, here are the companies we've selected. And it's actually a two-step process. So first step is to deploy the loan, and this gets represented as a smart contract, and then I fund it. And the moment I fund it, those funds are actually going to the contract itself and are made available to the company that I'm lending to first. And as they repay the loan, so those funds will automatically advance to the next company in the list and finally be returned to me with interest. So I can select the frequency. Let's say I want to do recurring 1 week. I'm taken to a preview page, and if that looks good, I can click deploy. Now it's going to allow me to preview that. Confirm. Okay, that contract just got created, and now I can choose to either fund it with a one-time payment or do it recurring based on what I selected before. To demonstrate, I don't necessarily need to pay funds from the same network. I can actually do whatever currency I want on the testnet to be able to fund that particular contract. So I already have it set up with Rinkeby. Now going back to that particular transaction, go ahead and sign that. The connects modal pops up after a few moments and allows me to fund that contract through whatever currency I want. In this case, I'm going from Rinkeby to Coven, and if I had sufficient funds, I could go ahead and confirm and make that swap, and now I have funds that are being delivered to the contract and ultimately the companies that I wanted to lend the money to. So I'm just going to go ahead and close that. What I could show next is how the recurring payment would work. So that is simply from going here, confirming. What gets happened behind the scenes is that a superfluid is creating an agreement between my particular account and the account of the contract, and streaming funds based on that frequency to the contract that will ultimately get delivered to the company. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this load a few minutes. But lastly, for any contract that does get deployed, there's a risk that a particular company wouldn't pay you back. And for any of these protocols shown, if a company is leveraging those, you can create a contract using Nexus Mutual that will insure that particular loan for a given amount. And so I can get a quote based on someone using a certain lending protocol and be able to inspect it and ultimately open a insurance contract with Nexus Mutual against the particular loan that I issued. So coming back to Superfluid, you can see here I just created this contract, I just created this stream, and it's yielding funds to that contract in real time. I can cancel that anytime or from the LoanRing application. I should mention that all this code is available on my GitHub. I encourage you to check it out, but that's pretty much the LoanRing application, and thanks for your time.